Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you are loving yourself and all this like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are all loved, celebrated and appreciated. I appreciate all of you for your gestures, your kind words, for your comments, for leaving your comments there at the section, for all our channel members, your support and everything. All of you majesties, you are all loved, celebrated, your majesties. So it's just been going out there wild. It's been going out there wild. I know I did a video about this, but it's just an impromptu video, so there are a lot of things that I couldn't say there. Now, yes, Putin had opened the vault finally, and this is not something that, like I said in that video, it's not something that is new. This has been something that has been circulating the internet for 2-3 years ago, and I also had a video about that, so right, where Putin exposing to the world that Yeshua is a black man. Now, there's something I want to correct here, all right, as we progress. Before I bring some of the clips here. Now, yes, I said it before that Yeshua existed. He existed as one of us, as one of you and me, a melanated who ascended, discovered himself. He lived in this plane, felt what you felt, lived like you, like he was one of you and me. So it's not something that is so new that oh, Putin have said this. I told you, like I said initially, it's not something that is today. It has been there on the internet. It has been there on the internet. And there are Africans who feel like this is a tactic from the world. Why is it that they are diverting many black people to this black Jesus, black Jesus, black Jesus? And they want to tell us now that Christianity have accepted that Yeshua is black, so as to keep tying Africans to Christianity, because they knew that Africans are beginning to know the truth and they want to pull out. So they want to tie us more, they want to tie the screw more, and then they use this Putin message. They allow this message to circulate, and everybody are like in awe of black Jesus, and they're making it look like, oh, the white people are angry that the world have realized that Jesus is black. I'm using that word Jesus because that is what you people like, and that is what you are used to. Oh, the world is happy that Jesus is black, so Christianity, he has come to stay, so we die in Christianity because Jesus is now black. It's not today. It's not today. So the truth all the while is that Yeshua is one of you. He was melanated, he ascended, he discovered himself. And many like him came. Many came like him. After him, they came. And we still have a lot in our midst today that you people are rejecting. People are rejecting because it's not a white man. It's anything that is white that is good. You see now, all of you that are saying, hey, who told you Jesus was black? The initial time I was bringing this up here, I told you Yeshua is a black man. Many of you were saying it's not true. Many of you, black or Africans, were denying it. Where did I get my own teaching from? Yeshua was not black. You see now? So now you're going to accept because it has come from the matrix. So you will accept. I just hope this is not a diversion tactics. They want to divert your mind because they have known that there is a movement in Africa to abandon Christianity. So they want to use this one now to tie you back, to tie the screw, pew, 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 so that you can remain there. Because they have told you that Jesus is now black. Anyway, and I told you as well that it's no coincidence that when you're going back to history, you discover that everything was black. It's not a mistake. Oh. It's not a mistake. It is because Africa, Al-Kebula, is the celestial zone of the world, of the planet. Africa is a celestial zone, and if you're Africans, if you're melanated and you are outside Africa, where you can have touch with your source is the motherland. I'm not saying this to promote Africa. Alright? This is the truth. When you do some of this little going back, Africa is that channel, is that the celestial zone where heaven and earth meet. Whatever you might think as heaven, the pure, that's the pure light. Alright, the unconditional love. Life started here. Africa is the cradle of civilization. Because when the gods came down, it was here. And from here, they went out to other places. So it's not coincidence that the truth is, I think we'll talk about the truth and the answer. So most of the things we know are the answers. But the truth is, the reason why they tell you the Jews are black, those who started this are black, those who invented this are black, it's not because we want to fight for our race. They know this change. That's why they try so well. If color does not matter, why do the white people claim all these things that were originally black and make it white? Can you answer me? If color does not matter, I don't care whether all this is Jesus or whatever. Me, I know these things already. But what I'm saying, if these things does not matter, why did they clean it? They took over and they want to be in charge. And so they told you this answer. They gave you these answers. But are they the truth? They are not the truth. So the Jews are not white originally. The Hebrews are not white originally. The Israelites are not white originally. Whichever word you want to use for it. They are not white. They are melanated. So that video where I was talking about the content creator who gifted a little black boy some pair of shoes, and one of his followers, who happened to be a white person, was not happy that content creator could help that black boy, and like, oh, why not help our kind, or we should stick to our kind, something like that came up. And I brought that video here and a lot of you watched it and dropped your opinion. Then I got this comment from somebody. I got this comment from one of you. I don't know if this is melanated or other brothers, I don't know, but there is the comment. I'm going to leave it on the screen. So she said that you Africans are getting real busy with your race hustling on YouTube. Enjoy it while you can. Do you get that, your man? I pinned that comment. There are some comments you notice I pinned them. I just want to pin it so all of you can see how people think and how you think. So we are getting real busy with our race hustling on YouTube. What is race hustling? The evil that white supremacy have done to the melanated image is something that one can contain. It is something that we can even finish explaining. What's your name? Julie, is it Julie Barry? Julie Barry, something like that. The evil that white supremacy have done to the continent of Africa, to the melanated brothers and sisters across the world, and they are still doing. Is this something that you can pay? What have we done as Africans that it has become race hustling on YouTube? That we are protecting ourselves has become race hustling. When you all were doing what you were doing and are still doing, you don't see what you do as evil. And you say enjoy it while you can. So you want to go tell YouTube to come block my channel right now. Oh my goodness. So Abigail is racist. So please go and block Abigail's channel. I wouldn't be surprised because, of course, this is what you do and that's why you think everybody does same. You started this. Alright, when you talk about racism, it's not something that started with the lower class. It's not something that started with people who are not on top or people who are not on top ruling. Racism is something that started with the upper class, those with power and who claim they rule the world. Who are those with power and who claim they rule the world? It's the white people. Alright? You all are the one that claim you have power, you have superiority because God is white. So you have the right to go to different parts of the world and make people slaves. And you want to shut my mouth up not to say anything when my race have been treated like what have you? I should keep quiet. Now I want to leave you with this clip, Majesties. Maybe this will explain further to you. I want to leave you with this clip.
This is exactly what I said at the beginning of the program. When we deal with racism, rather than dealing with the structural reality and all this nonsense about people are racist because they're frustrated about their life, it's totally classist. What we're saying, only working class people are racist. Do me a favor. Racism was not invented by working class people. It was invented by elite academics through pseudoscientific nonsense and perpetuated as part of political policy. From the top down, not the bottom up. In fact, if we look back at the history of this country, when there were slave catchers in the streets, people had far more allies in working class parts of London than they did from rich people who were trying to catch them and send them back to the Caribbean. So let's be honest about the history and deal with the bigger problems of structural racism, because then smaller things and smaller frustrations that are breeding this type of nonsense won't be excavated so much. But this is the problem, is we focus on nonsense like this rather than dealing with why a British soldier you've probably never heard of, a gentleman called Christopher Alder, died in 1999 in police custody. There is footage on YouTube that you can see for yourself of him on the floor with his bottom half exposed, with police officers around him making monkey noises over his dead body. You've never heard his name. Why?
History is a lie. How were Jews described in Europe before Ashkenazis became the majority? From Nature, Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, page 123. Quote, Waits says, an interesting gradation of all shades down to the black is exhibited by the Jews. Especially dark were the Jews of Spain and Portugal. The Portuguese Jews were very dark, says Pritchard. The Duchesse d'Abrante, wife of Napoleon's ambassador to Portugal, said that the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in a single person. So dark were the Jews, especially of Portugal and southern Spain, that many whites thought all Jews were black or dark. Another source can be found from The Natural History of Man by James Cowles Pritchard. Quote, the Jews of Portugal are very dark. More corroborating evidence can be found from the Memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackay, Esquire, published in 1733. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State, is eldest son to Mr. Finch, Lord Chancellor in the reign of King Charles II. He hath also the exterior air of business and application, enough to make him very capable. In his habit and manners very formal. A tall, thin, very black man, like a Spaniard, or Jew, about 50 years old. We can appreciate that even in the 1700s, people from the British Isles recognized Jews to be of a dark complexion, like their Secretary of State, Daniel Finch, 2nd Earl of Nottingham. By the way, this is supposed to be a contemporary painting of Daniel Finch, Earl of Nottingham. This man is clearly of a fair complexion, not dark, like a Jew, as he is described. Just a little peek into the whitewashing of history. Finally, from Shakespeare and the Jews by James Shapiro.
Shakespeare and the Jews from James Shapiro. All right, and we're about on page 171 of this book. When William Brereton jotted down his impressions of the Jews in the synagogue in Amsterdam in 1635. Amsterdam, again, that's in the Netherlands, Holland, all right, the Dutch. This is a Dutch synagogue, Dutch people, right? Amsterdam, 1635. He's going to let you know that he noted that the Jewish men are most black. They're most black. The Jews. Who was the Jews? Again, who was the Jews that were in Amsterdam? Most of those Jews, all right, had fled from Spain and Portugal. Sephardic Jews who were what? Most black. It says, and when the Scottish minister Robert Kirk toured London in January 1690, he also paid a visit to the synagogue there. Now this is a whole other different country. Right now he's in England, now a whole different person, letting you know what he saw when he went in the synagogue, the Jewish synagogue in London, all right, in 1690. He observed over 200 Jews worshiping, 200, all right, 200 people, 200 Jews. He noted in his journal that they were all very black men. Again, Jews worshiping in a synagogue in London. They were what? All very black men. All very black men. Sephardic Jews. Who was in London as a Jew? A lot of these, again, were Sephardic Moorish Jews from Portugal and Spain. A lot of these were Huguenots, so-called Huguenots.
Like and share for more lost history. And that's why we say,